So maybe you can talk a little bit about, like, as a law enforcement officer, like, talk to me about your process for sort of gathering evidence and putting together a case that then you might bring to the district attorney's office. Like, what does that look
Yeah,
like?
I mean, it starts like we talked before with including an advocate, but as far as the basic nitty and gritty of it is just it's still I record video and audio record every interview, so I write up a synopsis based on how that interview went. I also ask the survivor to put something in writing. It can be an email, a Word document. People write notes in their phone, like whatever's convenient for you. I do need it in writing, sign off on it, swearing to that, the facts that you've listed. Um, Evidence preservation is so important. I mean, screenshotting those text messages, Snapchat, I could do a subpoena for a Snapchat, but they only hold it for 24 hours. So sometimes it's really, timeliness is important. But if you've got a screenshot, that often works. My strongest cases had amazing screenshots of, Facebook Messenger or text. That stuff is huge. So bringing that stuff or emailing it soon after, it's really, we're flexible. Like I'm driven, so I want the facts. I want to be able to put the best case together that I can and then get it to the DA's office, the district attorney, and have them review it and say, yep, this is a great case. Let's go forward. But I understand that, it really all comes back to the survivor. And I always tell them right up front, look, you're driving the bus here. Like you can put the brakes on, you can, whatever you need, we can stop and start. But here's my wish list. This is what I'd like to get from you. Depending on how recent it's been, we'd go after clothes or maybe take them to the hospital for a forensic exam. And there's also flexibility, like yours was 18 months, maybe between when you went to go see an advocate. And I see that as well. I see it could be the night before, it could be 2 years previously, and that's all fine. We'll still, the basics of the investigation remain the same. What happened, witnesses, do you have any evidence saved from that event? And then it depends on how long the interviews take and how many people I'm going to be interviewing, but once I'm done with the survivor, I track down anyone else who may have information. I try to talk to the suspect. That's what I'm trained to do, is get that suspect to tell the truth through an interrogation interview process. Often they have attorneys by the time I get to them and they don't talk.
Yep.
So then I'm left with just one side of the story, and I go and put that together with what I have, and I send it to the DAs, and then they take it from there. But sometimes I do get to talk to them, and then that adds a whole other element. It's usually beneficial for us. So it can look, every single case that I take looks a little different depending on the survivor and where they're at. And like you said, all those consequences and things that you're weighing in your mind, like, how's this going to affect my parents or my former partner or my kids or whatever your situation is. I respect it. It's your life. You have to live it, and you have to go to sleep at night. And like we talked about before, justice can look very different to different people. So I try to make, we have to talk about details. We have to talk about facts, and sometimes that can be hard for them. And we give them all the time that they need, and if they need to take a break or they need to come back or they just they want to stop, whatever they need to do, we'll support. But my motivation in that is just to build the best case that I can.